Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, tricksters and tricksettas watching in this VOD review. Today we have another tier 3 sub VOD review, and this time at our coaching table we have Bebtardo playing Jett on Icebox in a silver 2 elo. Let's first see what Bebtardo has to say to us. So, here is the VOD, here is the tracker. Problems. Problems. Peeking comms, taking bad fights, and crosshair placement. I mean, if those are your problems, I can immediately give you some kind of a training to work on these problems without even doing a VOD review, because I have a fix for this, and for this already. But let's take a look at the VOD. We're still gonna review it. Let's see if there are any other problems, because you're silver 2 and there's no way that your problems are only this. When it comes to communication, communication is not important in Valorant. All the way up to high elo lobbies. Like basically, half of your teammates are not gonna speak. Half of your teammates won't understand what you wanted to do. When you're in this low elo, Iron 1 to Diamond 3. Only thing that is very important is adjusting yourself based on what type of teammates you have and what type of enemies you have. Most of the times, it is better to provide a silent support to your allies, notice their mistakes, refrag them, get out. In this elo, what is also very important for you is that you value your life as much as you can. Even if you're playing Jett, your job is not to instantly take a 50-50 fight and die like a potato. Your job on the attacker side, especially on the mechanical maps such as Icebox, is to play with your team, be a refraggable ally, refrag your teammates, take some space for your team in a safe manner and safe way where you don't die instantly. And in this elo, you really need to heavily focus on what the fuck are your teammates doing. Because if you're not focusing on what they are doing and you're not compensating their mistakes, it doesn't matter how good you actually read the enemy team. Now, on a defender side, obviously, in this elo, like with the Jett, you can stomp every single match, basically. Players have terrible utility usage. Abusing Operator and Outlaw should be a piece of cake for you. And we'll see in the VOD review what you have to say. Okay. What you have to show, actually. Okay, let's immediately jump into the tracker review, to be honest. Like, I mean, the guy just asked us some very general questions. First of all, one thing that I will immediately tell you is that your playtime is suboptimal if you want to see some significant improvements at Valorant. Essentially, playing minimum 3 games per day, 21 games per week, is the optimal amount of games that you need to play if you want to reach higher elos and actually improve at Valorant and keep a certain level of consistency. I mean, in one act you have 45 hours, in other act you have 4 hours, then in another act you have 54 hours. Like, brother, do you want to get better at this game or not? You know, I totally understand that not everyone has the time to play the game, but with this playtime, you cannot really expect some fast improvements. I will keep this in mind, that you don't have that much time to actually grind the game, and our main goal during this VOD review is gonna be like seeing what type of training I'm gonna recommend you through private messages, what type of aim training I'm gonna recommend you, and if there are any other problems that you should pay attention on. I can instantly recommend you as a, Gold 1 peak player. Take a look at all of the guides that I've already shared with you, the important guides on my YouTube channel. Try to apply everything from the rank playbook on my Discord server. And also, like, do the training that I'm gonna recommend you after this VOD review. Other than that, like, 350 hours. I mean, we could have reached like maybe platinum or low diamond until now. I can see that you had like different agent choices up until now, but your KD and headshot percentage is quite good actually. for a Silver 2 player. I mean, when it comes to these statistics here, I would easily recommend you, brother, just run it down with the Jett, Raze, Neon, Omen, carry these boosted bonobos and, you know, like, just get out. Get out. Also, another thing is, like, I would heavily recommend you, like, if you don't have the time to play in a specific act, don't play at all. Because you're consistently resetting your rank, and you're consistently resetting your MMR as well. Like, for example, here, especially in the Act 1. Like, in Episode 6, Act 2, you were Silver 2 player. Then in Episode 7, Act 1, you only played 8 hours. You got Bronze 1. And then in Episode 7, Act 2, you needed to grind all the way from Bronze 1 to Silver 1 for no reason. And you probably fucked up your MMR a bit by doing so. Like, essentially, you know, if you don't have more than 50 hours, 40 hours at least, to play in an act, don't play the game at all. It is absolutely not worth it. Play unrated, play Spike Rush, I don't know, make a second account on which you grind during that act. And in this elo, I would definitely recommend you to grind on 2 accounts. I've explained this method and this mindset completely in my Radiant Consistency Guide on my main YouTube channel. Now, let's say some other stats, but, you know, everything looks okay. I mean, for a Silver 2 player that reached Gold 1, your ADR, okay. Your KD, good. Your headshot percentage, good. Essentially, all of your general stats, what they show us is that if you actually put in some more time to grind the game, you can easily get up to Platinum 1 without anyone's help. But, you know, especially in this elo, kills are not the main metric that determines whether or not you're gonna win or lose the matches. I mean, with these stats, you should be able to have at least like 55-60% win rate in this stupid elo. Like, one of the main problems of Omen, Jett, duelist players in you know, players that are playing dive characters is you're taking some fights that you should never take. You know, like, I completely understand that you want to fight, that you see the blood in your eyes, but your job is not to win every round alone. Your job is not to kill 5 enemies alone. You have a very specific set of tasks that you want to complete, and once you complete these tasks, you clock out. You just bait your teammates, play a trading game, make sure that your teammates can also trade you, and close out your rounds and matches. Like, one of the main problems of players in this elo, from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, is that most of the times you die in the scenarios where you cannot afford the death. In this elo, only God knows with who the fuck you're playing. You know, you have boosted players, smurfs, you have like players that don't give a fuck, you have like players that are terrible. Like, essentially, if you're not alive to control the outcome of your round, you are just praying to God that your teammates are gonna do that instead of you. Especially, even if you take, like, let's say 4 kills and you die, in this elo, your teammates can quite easily lose a 4 versus 1 scenario. Staying alive in this elo as much as you can is your highest priority. I don't say that you should bait the shit out of your teammates. I don't say that you should not do what it is necessary from you to do, but there's probably like 60% of fights that you don't need to take at all. Especially because your KST is suboptimal. Essentially, this number here tells us that you're not really the most refraggable teammate. I mean, in this elo, you can easily have a KST above like 76-77%. Like 72.4, it's okay, it's like suboptimal, not that bad, obviously. But you're probably, definitely, dying in some rounds and some scenarios where you don't need to fight the enemies, or you can fight the enemies a bit smarter. Now, When it comes to other stats, clutch percentage is optimal. 3.1% is like okay, it can be much better, especially when it comes to your 1 versus 1 and 1 versus 2 scenarios. You can probably do something better to outplay the enemies there. The amount of last deaths that you have is actually quite good. You know? I mean, so you need to do something better in these clutch scenarios, essentially. Like when you actually stay alive, and God knows if you're actually trading your teammates, what is the distance between you and your most aggressive allies? Especially in this elo, like, you know, one of your main focuses on both attackers and defenders side should be asking yourself, like, which one of my teammates is gonna die first? And once you make that decision, you just support that idiot, refrag him, play with him, make sure that you have a proper distance between you and your most aggressive teammate, and the rounds are quite easy to actually win. Attack, it's okay. Okay, and defense, okay. I mean, on both attackers and defender side, you can do a much better job in this elo. Especially on attack, I feel that your performance can be much better, but you said that you have the problems with peeking and crosshair placements, so obviously that might be a huge issue for you. And on defense, like in this elo, I mean, you should have like a 55% win rate when it comes to the round win percentage. Like, defense in this elo is where you win or lose most of your matches. And on defense, carrying these lobbies is easy as fuck. Read the enemies, apply the proper positioning, proper angle holding, counter the enemies. You're playing Jett, you have the dash ability, operator, outlaw, done. Obviously, probably have a poor map knowledge and poor map awareness as well, but, you know, that's why, you know, I don't even need to do this VOD review. Based on your stats and based on the questions that you already asked me, I know what type of training I'm going to recommend you and what I'm going to do with you, but still, let's see. Let's see your gameplay. This act, Omen, Jett, and Raze. Okay. I mean, like, based on your statistics, definitely, like, I would recommend you to keep maining these 3 characters, depending on which map you play. If I was you, I would easily keep the Jett and Raze as my main agents that I insta-lock, and I would just be filling the Omen if I really need a controller or, you know, on some of the maps. Like, for example, in this elo, Omen on Bind is Jesus Christ. You know? Jett on Icebox. Jett on Breeze. Omen and Jett on Split. On Ascent, Jett and Omen. On Sunset, all 3 characters, essentially. On Abyss, I would just recommend you run it down with the Jett and, you know, just carry these idiots. So, I would actually recommend you to, you know, play, obviously, Jett and Omen as your main agents and just apply the Raze if you really need to maybe, you know, your Jett is insta-locked, you already have a controller, and run it down with Raze. Especially because here I can see that your win rate on Bind with Omen is shit. Brother, Discord server, Agents Guides, Omen playbook on Bind, replicate everything that there is in the ranked playbook. I guarantee you, you're gonna have like 70% win rate. It's gonna take you some time, you know, a bit of repetition, a bit of custom server practice, a bit of ranked practice as well. But in this elo, carrying the matches on Bind with Omen, easy as fuck. Split, good win rate with Omen. Sunset, Omen Dominator. I don't know why you're playing Raze on Icebox, because Jett is like 2 times better agent on this map. But if something works for you, I mean, you can keep abusing it. And Omen is good on Icebox all the way up to like Immortal 3. I mean, in this elo, like, to be honest, you can carry the matches with almost any agent in the game. And on Lotus, you know, on Lotus, yeah, controllers are important, but I personally felt like when I was coaching players below Diamond 3, below Ascendant 1, it's a bit easier for you to carry the matches like on Jett and Raze. I would actually recommend you, on Split, Omen main agent, Jett secondary pick, Raze third pick, Sunset, Omen 1, Raze maybe 2, Jett 3, Icebox, Jett, Omen, Raze, Lotus, Raze / Jett, Omen, Breeze, Jett. On Breeze, I would just play Jett. On Breeze, it's really important to have a Viper, but to be honest, like in Valorant, team compositions don't matter at fucking all in ranked solo queue, all the way up to Immortal 3. For Immortal 3 to Radiant, obviously, it matters a bit, but a better team will always win. Like on Breeze, there's no way I would... yeah, sure. I made a playbook for Omen, and you have a lot of great setups, and especially for playing Omen as a secondary controller, more like a duelist, you can carry your matches without any problems, obviously. But just running down with a Jett. And in this elo, Omen is good, obviously. You have a good performance as well. But it's still Ascent, on attacker side, it's a bit harder to play this map, and God knows what's happening for you there. I would recommend you stick with these, 3 agents, they work for you. Your performance is really nice, really good. But as I said, probably, you have problems with some really fucking stupid deaths. We have some matches where you're 9-16, 22-17, 16-16, 11-16, But of course, some of these matches are complete team diff, such as this game right here. Basically, in Valorant, 40% of games that you lose, there's nothing that you could have done better to win those matches. When you lose these type of games, you just press next, and you forget about that match. And 60% of other games that you lose, you could have done something better, obviously. Top weapons, not very nice headshot percentage for a Silver 2 player. Based on these stats, all of these stats here, really, really nice. The only problems I have is some of the KSTs in some of these rounds. But this is a really good tracker. Really, really good tracker for a Silver 2 Gold 1 player. One thing that I would really advise you, where you really suffer a lot, is the weapon versatility for this elo. I really don't understand. How can you have 1,050 kills on Vandal, and the second highest kill weapon is the Classic with 100 kills? Brother, in this elo, abusing some half-buy and eco weapons is a piece of cake. Obviously, depending which map you're playing, what is enemy's economy and what is yours economy, and which strategy you want to execute. Operator should be in top 3. Outlaw should be in top 4, top 5. Shorty, top 7 minimum. Stinger, top 5, top 7. Judge, top 7, top 5. And that's basically it, essentially. I would really recommend you to put a bit more focus on when and how to abuse the Outlaw, because economy management in this elo is shit. And in most of the rounds, if you see that the enemies don't have enough money to purchase the Heavy Shield and a Vandal, you see that 3 or 4 enemies have less than 3,800 credits, buy the Outlaw. Go for easy body shot kills, proper crosshair placement, proper positioning, delete them. On Icebox and Breeze, we can use the Outlaw on both attackers and defender side. On other maps, we can use it mainly on a defender side, obviously. Shorty should be your primary secondary weapon, especially if you're maining Raze Jett, and Omen. You have money to afford the shorty, and you have a Stinger, Guardian, Bulldog, Outlaw, Operator, Vandal, Phantom. Buy the shorty with yourself. Like, mastering this weapon is crucial for this elo. Judge, I mean, like, you're playing Defender side of Bind. Actually, like, you know, just destroy these idiots. You know? Defender side of Split. Defender side of Ascent. All of these claustrophobic maps, like, just proper positioning, proper angle holding, proper utility usage, enemies are dead. Also, on some of the maps, you can apply the Odin as well, such as, like, Lotus, Haven, and Ascent. Like, those maps with paper walls. You can just, you know, you're playing Lotus, enemies are pushing aggressively through the aiming area of the map, spam this corner here, take easy kills. Enemies are pushing you on the aiming here, spam this location here, bam, enemies are dead. You're going for the retake of B site, spam this wall, kill the enemies here, enemies are dead. You can spam the waterfall into the city here, enemies are dead. Then, like, this wall fully spammable with high penetration weapons and medium as well. This wall with a high penetration weapons, this wall with a high penetration weapons. Like, literally, the map is made out of paper. Essentially, that's kind of your biggest problem. Like, I feel that you're working overtime with a Vandal. You know, in this elo, nobody has a proper pathing, nobody has a proper utility usage, nobody knows how to peek the angles, how to clear them. Like, you can abuse these weapons 24/7 on a defender side, and on the attack, like, you know, in some of the rounds as well. Like, Vandal can never be your, I mean, yes, Vandal is your primary weapon in full buy rounds, but Vandal doesn't need to be the weapon that you're playing. I don't know, like, you play a match of 25 rounds, and you buy a Vandal in 16 rounds. That's absolutely stupid for this elo. This is the elo where you want to expand yourself as a player. You know, learn different playstyles, different, how to abuse different weapons. When are you gonna learn this shit, if not now? You're not gonna be learning this shit, like, when you become an Immortal 1 player, Immortal 3 player, and then, you know, you cannot abuse these cheesy strategies to get some easy kills and to punish the enemies. Like, it's just stupid. Stupid. Become a John Wick of Valorant. You know, like, that's something that players are heavily missing in Valorant. Like, you guys are only focusing, I wanna be a TENS, I wanna be Demon 1, you know, like, let me use the Guardian, let me use the Vandal, Sheriff, every round. Like, brother, chill. You know, only a very small percentage of players in Valorant can reach Radiant only based on their mechanical skill. That percentage is like maybe 5 to 10%. For 90% of rest of the players, you need to use your brain. You need to abuse the utility, abuse good positioning, abuse smart fights, different weapons, etc., etc. Like, especially in Valorant, you know, there's a lot of RNG mechanical factors. Like, a gold player can kill TENS 1 out of 10 times, which should never be possible in a normal tactical shooter. But this game, you know, full of first bullet inaccuracies, like ping def, netcode is shit. There's a lot of desync. Like, that's why, you know, Valorant competitive doesn't have any valuable integrity, because a lot of the mechanical factors are like just luck factors, essentially. And also there's other RNGs in the game, and that's why, like, it's almost impossible in Valorant to build some kind of a dynasty, as for an example Astralis has built in Counter-Strike. Other than that, you know, this looks fine. With this performance, like, you can easily get like Platinum 1, Diamond 1, but you definitely, you know, what type of fights you fight, how much you value your life, how much attention you pay on your teammates is gonna be crucial for your Grindimus Rex. Let's go into the game And let's see what he's doing on Icebox. Jett. Is there such thing as a good passive aim? Yes. Why not use both? I mean, yeah. I mean, like, if you're able to... yeah, I mean, sure. Just the problem is, like, mechanical skill ceiling is the hardest to breach. Like, no matter how much you aim train, at certain point, you're getting diminishing returns in terms of your mechanical performance. Like, same as, you know, no matter how much a top 100 player in tennis puts in the effort and hard work, like, most of the times, that player is never going to be better than Nadal, Federer, or Novak. Same goes for any video game as well. Like, mechanical skill ceiling, at some point, just doesn't give you any returns anymore. But one good thing about Valorant is that Valorant is the game that supports different playstyles and supports a variety of, you know, players coming in the game. So that's why I'm able to consistently keep up and be a Radiant player. Like, if this game was only mechanical, such as, let's say, Counter-Strike, I think I can never, you know, I can never be a top player in CSGO anymore. Like, my mechanics cannot compete with a 17-year-old donk that is just peeking everything and destroying everyone. Okay, let's talk about the Icebox. So, first of all, let's start with some map-specific knowledge. So, Icebox defender side. Our primary focus and default bomb site is the A site. Whenever you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, you play A site. In the first round, you always play A site, and that's the general storyline. Why A site? Because A site is much harder for the retake than B site, and on A site your teammates are gonna be prone to making enormous amount of mistakes. Secondary focus on this map, on a defender side, is the B site, which we usually play when we think that enemies are gonna go B, or, you know, if enemies are eco and halbye on the attacker side, there are much higher chances that they're gonna push us on B or mid, and that is the moment of time when we should play around the mid or around the B site. What is also important on this map is how we rotate. We need to clear the mid area of the map so that enemies cannot lurk and flank. We need to tell our sentinels to keep some kind of a utility for the mid flank and lurk. And also, like, you consistently need to track on the minimap how many enemies do you see. Do enemies like to flank, lurk? Like, if I see, let's say, 4 enemies pushing A site, I'm instantly thinking whether or not that one last enemy has a timing to surprise us from behind, or maybe through the kitchen, or mid area of the map. Now, in the first round with Jett, I've explained enormous amount of strategies in my ranked playbook on Discord server that you can use to fuck up the enemies on the A site, but my ultimate favorite strat is the passive strat where we surprise the enemies. Very simple. You buy a ghost with a smoke or sheriff. We play on top of the A tower right here, and we're trying to pick a perfect moment of time to surprise the enemies that are pushing onto the bomb site. We're either trying to fight the enemies on the belt when our teammates get a contact with the enemies on belt. We're trying to catch an enemy that is using the zipline to surprise him and delete him, or we're trying to catch the enemies here and here, taking an easy kill and getting the fuck away. Your main goal in the first round on a defender side is not to defend the site. It's almost impossible, like in the first round, with the semi-automatic weapons and with the lack of utility that we have. Our main goal is getting a few easy, cheesy kills, and then playing a refray game together with our teammates. Why is this angle good? Majority of players are not, like, if you hide here for like 15, 20 seconds, and you don't showcase yourself to the enemies, while your teammates are fighting the enemies, most of the times, no one is gonna be aware that you're still here. Like, when the enemies are pathing like this, they cannot place their crosshair up there. They're exposed from the screen, from the rafters, from the backside. Enemies are pathing through the pipes. They cannot place their crosshair up here. They're exposed from the rafters, backside, and the bomb site as well. Also, if you play a good trigger discipline, maybe you can get away with like 1, 2, 3 kills. Who knows? You know, you just pre-activate your dash ability. Ba-ba-bop, ba-ba-bop. I'm out. Would it be easy to get kills off the generator if enemies don't have any flash agents? In the first round, I would always play passively on the A side, and I wouldn't showcase the enemies all of the off angles that I love to abuse on the bomb site. Like this off angle here, this off angle here, this off angle here, this off angle here, this strategy, this off angle, this off angle, this positioning, hiding here and surprising the enemies, and, you know, this off angle. All of this shit, and aggressive pushes, of course, you know, like playing here and playing here. I'm not gonna showcase the enemies in the first round. All of that I want to do when enemies are full buy, and I need to pressure them, surprise them. Obviously, if the enemies don't have, like, you know, initiator on the attacker side, Sova, Gecko, anyone to clear you out, playing a bit more aggro with Jett is really good. Or simply abusing the operator to get easy kills is also good. You know, we can maybe use the updraft here, hold this angle, kill one enemy, get up here, kill another enemy, out. We can go for the aggro peak as soon as the round starts. Like, basically taking the taking the ropes and going for the peak. We can also glide from here as soon as the round starts. Glide, activate the dash ability, take a kill, get the fuck out, baby. But all of this, like, as I said, most of the times it's better if you don't showcase the enemies in the first round. Let's see how our friend Beb Tardo is gonna play the first round. And of course he is starting on the B site, and now we're gonna watch a retake of the B site.
Yo.
Interesting resolution, love it. Okay, listen here. Tip number 1, and the most important tip when you're playing elevated positions in Valorant. You need to learn and practice in a custom server in the ranked matches how to move properly on the elevated positions. Like these angles, we call 70-30 angles in Valorant. These type of positions. Why 70-30? Because we don't need to commit to the 50-50 fight with the enemies, and our job is not necessarily to always get a kill. Your job is to potentially get a kill and reposition for the second fight. So if I'm holding B site in the first round from this location, you know, B main area of the map, I'm gonna move on this edge right here. So whenever you're playing elevated positions, you always want to move on the edge that goes towards the safety. Once I complete one burst fire, one tap, I can instantly reposition, activate the dash ability, and with the peeker's advantage, try to surprise enemies, try to kill them, and get the fuck away. Then, we can maybe use the updraft, you know, up here. Sorry, my game is lagging a bit. Like, hide from the enemies in the B main. Take a kill there. Once again, riding in this position, dropping down after a bullet or 3 bullets, and that's it. Like, playing these positions without the dash ability pre-activated in the middle here, you're fucked. Because multiple enemies are going to be peeking at the same moment of time, and you will need to commit to that fight. If I'm playing this spot, I'm either playing somewhere around this line, you know, taking a small fight with the enemies trying to get a kill. I'm hiding from the enemy's recon utility, Sova drone or something, and then on timing, trying to surprise the enemies and kill them. Or I'm holding this angle to just watch the enemies pushing through the garage. Or this angle, only watching the enemies that are pushing through the B-main area of the map. And if the enemies peek me there, I can instantly reposition. I don't even need to flick or fight those enemies. And maybe I can surprise them with a dash ability and the peeker's advantage or some random peek. Now let's see what he is gonna do.
Oh, B.
Okay. I really think that, you know, in this scenario, we didn't need to use the dash ability at all. Like, if you just played like this, essentially. Okay, Omen is teleporting. We can easily kill the Omen, drop down, activate the dash ability, kill the enemy raise, get the fuck out, 2 kills in the pocket. Also, like, Omen was a really static target here, and if I was fighting these enemies, I would just be pre-aiming the Omen and trying to get a kill on Omen. Like, I mean, he's already a passive potato, essentially.
Oh, B.
And if you're defending B side, to be fair, on Icebox, I would just, in the first round, I would just buy the Sheriff. Fuck the Ghost.
B. 1 mid as well.
Okay, what are we doing? We'll let the enemies take the space.
1 more mid? Is that 2? Oh fuck. There's like 2 kids there.
I don't know, man. Like I mean, you cannot really be AFK in the first round, you know. Like here, like enemies are splitting B side through mid. You know, like you had to pick some kind of a fight before your teammates start falling down. We know that 3 enemies are mid, 2 enemies are B main. Like,
Oh, B.
what are we doing here? You know?
1 mid as well.
And also, one more tip. If you're already using a dash ability to reposition towards the site from top of the yellow, always try to get on top of the tower. Because most of the times, if enemies don't have a Viper in their team, tower is not going to be smoked. Like, enemies are going to smoke this, and enemies are going to smoke this, especially in your elo. Even if they smoke the tower, it doesn't matter. Like, we can just chill in tower and try to spam the spike planter below us, or simply guard the mid area of the map and, you know, focus on kitchen a bit more. Like, another reason why, if I'm defending the B side alone, why I want to end up on tower right here is if enemies are splitting through mid, I can actually support my teammates. Like, in this scenario here, personally, I wouldn't even fight the enemies on B main. I would fully focus on the kitchen, because if you don't kill the enemies that are pushing through kitchen, we're fucked on the B side. Essentially. Like, we're gonna get in a pinch, enemies are gonna make the sandwich out of us. We need to isolate the enemies somewhere. Also, another thing, I mean, it's really hard to communicate with your teammates in this elo, but if you have Sentinel on Icebox, that utility, some piece of utility needs to go into the kitchen. Anything. Camera, tripwire, 2 tripwires, alarm bot, trademark. Like, we need to have the information for this shit here, or for the whole mid area of the map. Like, you're playing with a Killjoy, tell the Killjoy to use a turret. I don't know. Here. Tell the chamber to use a trademark. Here. Like, tell the Cypher to use maybe a camera for the kitchen, so he sees the tube and this area of the map. Like, or some kind of a tripwire, like, or maybe 2 tripwires, to be honest. Like, not having mid control on this map, or that information in the kitchen, is a Sudoku move.
One more mid. Is that two? Oh fuck. There's like two kitchens.
Okay.
And B.
Okay. Listen. Now on Icebox, whenever you win the first round, if you win the first round, the second round you're always starting a bit more aggro in the tube. You're always purchasing the Outlaw with a heavy shield or Outlaw with a light shield and a utility. You're going for the aggressive peek through the window here and holding the, you know, the mid area of the map and playing a fast rotation between A set and B set, because only God knows where the enemies are gonna go in that second round. And most of the times when enemies are equal hull by on a defender side, they're gonna hit you on B and mid. If you lose the first round, the second round I'm always gonna play on A site. And what we can do in a second round on A site, we can maybe force a sheriff only and abuse some of these off angles to pick the enemies apart, or you can simply play a classic pistol shorty strategy here, pick up the shorty, and when the enemies are pushing you, you know, we can just take an easy kill and escape with the dash ability. You maybe get 1 kill, 2 kills. On this range, most of the times you will kill the enemy with 2 bullets of a shorty, sometimes even 1. Depends if the enemies bought the heavy shield or the light shields in that second round. So now in this round, classic pistol shorty, let's try to fuck the enemies up. Your main goal in equal rounds is not to win them, not to get 5 kills. Your main goal is to make numbers advantage, or try to trade yourself for as many kills as possible before your teammates start falling down. And we are playing this round on mid. Okay. But what are we gonna do with classic?
It's A. It's A.
And the enemies are going A.
Mid, I don't know.
I don't know, man, like, with a classic pistol, you really cannot contest the enemies under the tube. Like, basically, you know, classic pistol, you primarily want to use for the gunfights in between, like, 0 to 20 meters maximum. After 20 meters, like, RNG factor is too high. Like, look at this for example. Like, enemies here. Okay, I go bam, bap, 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 bap. Okay, you know, this is the enemy head. He can die from 2 shots. But let's say the enemy is here, for an example, and we fight that enemy. Bap, 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 bap. Spread is much higher. Like, basically, you're just relying on the RNG factor of the game if those 2 bullets are gonna go into the head, because on this distance we need to hit, you actually need to hit 3 headshots above 30 meters. So essentially here I would not even peek the bottom mid, I would just jump spot the enemies to see if they're there, so I can rotate faster towards my teammates on A site. Another important thing about Icebox is that Icebox on a defender side is a slow rotation map. Like, you value the map control on the same level as team play as well, and refray game. So if you are not 100% certain that enemies are committing towards a specific push, wait a bit and see what the enemies are gonna do. Especially if the enemies consistently have somebody that likes to flank and lurk, you need to rotate a bit slower. Only in the first round, and once you know, figure out the enemy's pattern of pushing, you can rotate a bit faster and just support your teammates as soon as possible.
Nah, nothing there.
Okay?
Okay. One's on site. One's on nest, actually.
Enemies can be close. Yeah.
Can't see anything. Oh, 80. Nice.
Good kill.
Vector now.
Okay, listen. This round is okay. You know, like, bottom line of this round is like, we got a kill, we got an 2 ultimate orbs, 200 credits, we damaged the enemy's economy a bit, like, it's okay. Enemies wasted some utility, it's okay. But when it comes to the classic pistol, like, triple shot is a pure gamble. And a gamble that you can take to finish the enemies off, or to do a rapid fire jiggle picks. Like, you know, jumping and doing a triple shot is a huge gamble unless enemy is like 0 or 5 meters away from you. So triple shot, whether you want to use a triple shot to finish off the enemies that are really low, if you only need 1 bullet to kill that enemy, sure. Even on this distance, we can gamble a triple shot is probably gonna kill an enemy. 0 to 5 meters, okay. We can engage that enemy with a triple shot, gamble a bit more, try to kill that enemy. You're doing a jiggle peek. We can use left-right click. So we do this. We fire 4 bullets instead of only 1 or 2. So left, right, left, right, left, right. And that is what you can do. What you never want to do with a classic pistol is in medium and long range gunfights, gambling on triple shot, and you never want to spam the right click, because the spread becomes ginormous. You can use 1, second also, but third one is just unusable. If you use 2 triple shots, you need to continue the fight with the left click. Now, on this distance here, personally, I would just try to fight this Sova with a left click and then try to finish him off with a triple click if I hit his head or if I think that I'm gonna die in this fight.
Oh, 80. Nice. There's a Spectre now.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's rewind back a bit. What did we say about the enemy's economy? Whenever enemies are equal in health by, or they're playing a bonus round on Icebox, chances are above 60% that enemies are gonna push you on mid or through the B main area of the map. So in this round, we should play around the kitchen and mid and play a fast rotation towards the B side. Another thing that we can notice about the enemies is in the first round, they went B. In the second round, they went A. So also the AB rule is there. You know, I mean, we still don't know the real pattern of pushing of the enemy's team, what they're gonna do. But like, in these low elo lobbies, AB rule is gonna tell you like 70% of times, 80% of times maybe, where the enemies are gonna go next. Because a lot of the players in Valorant like to go like, you know, let's go B, let's go A, let's do split B, let's go A, shit like that. They think they're unpredictable. They think, oh yeah, we are like keeping our pattern of pushing a secret. It's stupid as fuck. Like essentially. So in this round, we should be playing around the mid, guarding the kitchen, and playing a fast rotation towards the B side. So we have a bit of a problem with reading the enemies. We have a bit of a problem when it comes to the map knowledge, which you can easily fix with the rank playbook that I'll share with you. And also we have a bit of the problems when it comes to your general positioning on the map. What the fuck is that smoke?
A little bit A.
Brother, listen. If you, and also if the enemies go A in this round, who cares? Like, I mean, we are still on mid, and we are able to rotate on A much faster than on the B side. Now, these smokes, like, listen. When your teammates are playing this aggressive on a defender side, you need to support them. Like, you need to do something about this. Like here, if I saw that my claw did a smoke here, and did a smoke here, and now that claw is playing in the smoke, I cannot play passively on the A tower. I need to figure out some way to support that idiot. Maybe using the ropes here, and playing this off angle, watching the enemies push through the belt. We're still playing an elevated position, so after a triple shot, we can instantly fall down. And in this elo, I mean, like, to be honest, our player's actually gonna have a good crosshair placement for this spot. Highly doubt it. And if the claw gets in the fight with the enemies, we can kill the enemies on the ropes here. We can instantly activate the dash ability, try to get a kill support that claw, refrag that idiot, and go back onto site. Like, this is what you really need to pay attention on a defender side. Like, usually, I mean, obviously, there are some rounds where you want to play aggro, and some rounds where you want to play passively. In this round, playing passively makes more sense because of enemy's economy. But your teammates are always forcing you in this elo to adapt your playstyle. If they are aggro, you need to be aggro as well. You don't need to go for some stupid fights, stupid peaks, but try to capitalize on the death of this idiot.
Oh shit. I got outlawed.
Fuck.
Ooh,
Yo, my game just died.
Multiple A.
okay, our game died.
My game died.
Backside.
That's a bit unlucky.
One on belt. Oh, boom! That's on belt.
Holy shit, man.
Go, go.
My dude's FPS is dropping from like 160 to 50.
One on belt. Oh, boom!
What?
That's on belt. Oh, got it.
Bro, my game, I can't.
What am I watching, bro? Listen, man, like, when it comes to the PC optimization and that type of shit, on my YouTube channel, you have, like, on my YouTube channel, you have the best settings for Valorant, and the guide is still up to date. Also, you can copy-paste my NVIDIA settings from my Discord server. And another thing that I would recommend you is, like, if you don't really know how to properly optimize your PC, exit lag can also maybe help you with this shit. I mean, it's really unusual that the FPS is dropping from 160 to 5. I don't know what's the problem. Like, you know, close the Pornhub, close the Chrome. Like, what's going on here? I don't know how to help you. Like, I don't know your PC. I don't know what, you know, what type of settings you're using. Always play Valorant in the full screen mode. NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency on plus boost. Currently, these settings are the best overall. You don't need the bloom. I just use it because of the skins. So, I don't know, like, why would this be happening?
See what's happening.
Who's there? Oh,
Okay. And yeah, needless to say, after fucking up the enemy's push on A site in the last round, we can apply the rule of fear. What is the rule of fear? Like, players in ranked solo queue are usually afraid to repeat their mistakes from the previous round, so chances are much higher that enemies are going to hit the opposite part of the map. So essentially, in this round, playing on the B site, or once again, around the mid area of the map, is the best game decision. Okay. Listen, whenever enemies are pushing the B site, and like, you know, you're smoked off, and you cannot support your teammates in time, check this off angle. Especially in this elo, you can easily get some kills onto the enemies that are on top of the gray box. But since your teammates are... Oh, yo, sorry, guys. Thank you for the sub, man. I need to mute this because of copyright shit. But since your teammate Fade is fighting so aggressively in the B main area of the map, right now, the best game decision is to fight with that Fade. We don't need to commit to the fight. We have a dash ability. We can just swing out, maybe try to get a pick, apply some pressure onto the enemies, and then get the fuck out with the dash ability. Okay. Pretty easy round.
wait, are you gonna get shit?
Now in this round, once again, I would actually play around the mid area of the map, because we fucked up the enemy's push on B. There's a huge chance they're gonna use the mid to maybe lurk, flank, and split us. And if they're pushing the A site, you know, we're still fast on a rotation, and we're able to support our teammates. Where should you play on mid? Like, I mean, we can just play a more aggro towards the window, try to get this kill onto the enemies. We can just play, you know, up here, doing this shit. We can play this off angle here, try to kill the enemies. This off angle right here, try to kill the enemies and then drop down. Like, you don't need to commit to the fight with the enemies, obviously. I absolutely hate that how you're playing these elevated spots, and you need to like you need to fix that, man. You need to fix that.
And A as well.
Also, another thing that you're doing wrong is like you're committing to the 50-50 gunfights for way too much. Like, if an enemy, or for example, when I'm playing these off angles, if I'm here, enemy swings me, I go for a burst fire, I'm instantly repositioning. Because now enemy is in an advantage. They know my location, they can have the perfect crosshair placement for me, they can delete me with a peeker's advantage. I want to reposition and surprise the enemies with a different type of peek. If I already missed the shot onto that claw, okay, we're playing here. No, miss the shot. Let's go a bit closer. Maybe she's still there. Activate the dash ability. Take a kill. Get the fuck out.
And A as well.
It's just raise. There's probably a shit ton more.
Actually, that's raise, okay.
There's at least one A.
Nah, there's more B. There's more B. 2 B.
Also, when you're repositioning onto the B side, like, you really need to reposition more. Like, either towards the top of the site, or try to abuse this off angle here to fuck up the enemies. I mean, from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, most of the times what I see when enemies don't have a Viper is they're gonna smoke this shit, and they're gonna smoke this shit. And they're gonna leave the tower open, which is not the best smoke setup, like, in most case scenarios. So, abusing this off angle to kill the enemies on top of the gray box, it can work. I mean, if you're already alone on the B side, you cannot really fight alone. Most of the times, it's just better for you to maybe get a kill, survive, and play the retake with your allies. And from the top of the tower, whenever you notice that enemies are not doing this smoke, play on the tower. I mean, like, you can easily surprise the enemies. Maybe use this tight angle to kill one enemy there. Enemies are planting the spike. Do the one-way, kill this guy. You can spam that dude through the box here as well. Try to get a kill. I don't know why you're on the lower ground as a Jett player. That smoke there that he did is actually really nice. Why? Because, like, that fixed our location a bit. Enemies might think that we're now pushing from the left side, but what is crucial in this round is that we stay alive. Right now, we don't want to take any more kills. We're 5 versus 2. We want to wait for our team, stay alive as much as we can, preserve our economy, save this weapon, and win this round with the least amount of casualties possible. I'm not gonna pick this fight. And like, sometimes, I really don't know what you're doing. Like, if my teammates are already fighting the enemies, like my Cypher is up there, my Omen is on the lurk and flank, what the fuck are you doing at the backside here? Get ready to fight with the Cypher. If my teammate is above me, I want to fight here. So when the Cypher picks a duel, I can refrag him and take the kills. Aha, Gecko is behind the box. Let's kill the Gecko. Now we are 5 versus 1. And especially when you have teammates that are flanking and lurking, you need to apply some pressure onto the enemies. Like, maybe drop some kind of a fake one-way smoke, you know, jump spot the enemies. Like, you don't need to commit to the fight, just make this job of your Omen easier.
I have an eye. Oh, that's a shitty eye, I'm sorry. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Okay. Okay, we're starting on mid. Enemies have like 3 ultimates. This might be a heavy hit. Well, okay, I mean, you can also do this, like, but I highly doubt that, you know, in gold and silver, someone is gonna pre-aim you and delete you like this. I mean, it's possible, obviously. That's why I usually play on top of the window like this, to completely fuck up their crosshair placement. But, you know, it's okay what he's doing. At least we're getting information, you know, on mid, if nothing else. Better not than, you know, not having anyone there. Listen here. I would highly advise you to rotate a bit faster in these type of matches. If you notice that enemies are just doing 5-man pushes together, rotate a bit faster, because you don't know how much you can trust your teammates. Like here, I would never updrift or stay on this position ever in a silver gold elo. I would be running for my life to support my teammates on A side. And also, I would go for the flanks and lurks, maybe like during one match that lasts like for 25 rounds. I would flank and lurk maybe in 2 rounds maximum. Because your teammates are gonna be dying like fucking flies. And you will be retaking the site 2 versus 5, 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3, like... Especially when enemies have so much good utility, such as Gecko ultimate, Raze ultimate, Neon ultimate. It's highly unlikely that that enemies are gonna do some kind of a split or fake or rotation. Like with this utility, I would just call a 5-man push on A or B, run you down. We're wasting our time. Wasting our time. 2 of our team is dead. Okay, we're 3v3 somehow.
I think they're rotating.
Okay. Once again, man, whenever some off angle or like elevated position has a drop towards the safety, play towards the drop. Like here, you know, if let's say three enemies pick me at the same moment of time. Sorry, not sorry. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight the enemy team alone. Maybe you get a kill, maybe not, who cares, like, it doesn't matter. But if I'm playing here, and 3 enemies pick me together, or I get flashed, I have significantly less time to reposition. I mean, not less time, like, it's gonna take you more time to actually reposition and go towards the safety. Yeah?
I hear B main, B main. Any help?
2 mid.
Nice kill.
Oh, JK.
Love it.
It's just one here then. Oh. Last one, last seen mid, right?
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. He probably gives him.
Okay, listen. Listen closely. On a defender's side, whenever you're left in a 3v3 or 2v2 scenario, follow these rules. Rule number 1, fuck the map control. You don't need it. Prioritize safety over anything else, and prioritize playing on the refrag potential with your teammates that you think are gonna die first, or on the area of the map where you think the enemies are gonna go next. The worst thing you can do in 3v3, 2v2 scenarios, or when you have the true numbers advantage. Now, what is a true numbers advantage? Like 5v1, 5v2, 5v3, 4v1, 4v2, 4v3, 3v2, 3v1, 2v1. Fuck the map control. Don't hunt the enemies. Prioritize more playing with your allies that are in the highest amount of danger at that moment of time. Like, safety is everything. We don't want to play, I don't know, here, and then the enemy Omen can kill us from here, from the kitchen, from the main, etc, etc. We don't want to give this Omen 1 versus 1 fights everywhere, like our Fade is. In the kitchen, you're here, Cypher is here. All of you guys are playing a 1v1 gunfight. In these type of scenarios, simplify your gameplay as much as you can. As much as you can. Like, just fight based on the numbers advantage, on the refrag potential, and you will be absolutely fine. Let's say you're playing Ascent. Ascent, for an example. You're playing A short, your Omen is on B. We have no fucking idea. Where are the last two enemies? What do? We need to gamble. So, if those two enemies push our Omen, Omen might die. We're playing a 1v2 retake, which is 10 times harder than a 2v2 retake. If Omen kills Brimstone, we're still playing a 1v1 retake, which is 5 times harder than a 2v2 retake. On retakes, the more ice you have, the more utility you have to clear the angles, to engage the enemies is better for you. 1v1 retakes are always based a bit on luck, timing, what type of utility you have, what type of utility enemies have, where is the spike planted, and it's not worth it. So in this scenario, if we think that enemies are gonna go B, we can do a silent rotation towards the Omen, sell the map control, and play with our Omen. If we think enemies are gonna go A, we can lie to our Omen. Hey Omen, enemies are pushing A. He rotates and we play together. What is crucial here is also that we prioritize safety. So we can play a proper refrag game. Like, we don't want to hold the B site like this and position like this. Enemies can kill us from 1 angle, 2 angles, 3 angles. Stupid. We can just play together here. Omen is watching the CT. We're watching this angle and we're able to play a proper refrag game. And we are reducing the factor of luck and factor of timings to the maximum. If enemies are pushing B, they're never gonna expect us both there. Easy round win. And if enemies are pushing A, okay, no problem. We rotate together and we retake the A site together. We have the smokes, paranoia, dash, flash, whatever, like more utility. Clearing every angle 1 by 1 and having the highest chances of winning that round. The same concept we apply in these rounds as well. Fade is 1v1. You can, like, and Omen can be behind the yellow box right now, close to you. Like, what I would have done here is simply play, like, he doesn't have time to plant the spike also. So what I would have done in this scenario is, okay, I'm gonna play here. I'm watching the kitchen together with a Fade. He's planting the spike on B. He doesn't have enough time to plant the spike. He's probably gonna stick the spike plant. Easy kill. Get him out of the server.
10 seconds left.
Okay, round is over. He's saved.
I'm way to the max. So.
Yeah, but we have a lot.
Whatever the fuck you did right now is absolutely stupid. Doing it without ultimate. Like, no one is holding under the tube for you. No one is able to fight with you. Like, how were you so confident doing this play if you don't have any information about enemies on mid? This play maybe you can do if you have support of your teammates under the tube. Maybe, but I would never do it, to be honest. And this play with the ultimate, okay, sure, fine. Like, I mean, we can use the updraft and we're still accurate in the air and we can fuck up the enemies. But whatever you did right now, solo, no bueno, man. Very bad play.
Nothing A so far.
Way too
They're all
overexposed.
mid.
All? Nothing mid.
Yeah.
And also, never give these type of comms. Are you a wizard, bro? I'm not a wizard. You're not a wizard. Only Harry Potter is a wizard. You know, like, how the fuck you know that all enemies are B? Now, because you gave that info to your teammates, maybe they're not gonna check the mid area of the map. Maybe one enemy is gonna lurk through A main. Like, just say that enemies are pushing B site. I don't know if they're all there. Done. Like, don't give these ghost comms, essentially, like, where you don't have the real information. Because a lot of times in solo queue I get information, like, enemies are pushing B, they're pushing B. Like, my teammates are yelling, like, you know, the whole Germany squad from 1944 is pushing them. And there's, like, 2 enemies pushing the B site. And I get fucked by the enemies, like, I don't know, holding the aim in or something like that. Brother, chill, you know. Tell me what you see, what you know about, what you want to do, but don't tell me, like, you know, some imaginary shit. This off angle is good.
Take.
Nice dodge by the Omen. Nice kill. Nice repositioning. Love it.
One on top of yellow.
Okay. That second kill, you know, a bit risky, a bit unnecessary once her location got revealed. But okay. I mean, like, Omen is there with you. Faye just died from the raise that was on top of the yellow. This smoke here is a horrible smoke. Like, I don't know who the fuck smokes like that.
She fell off.
But okay. Now.
Oh my, that was risky. Nice.
I mean, that was not risky. That was borderline kind of stupid, you know. Like, the thing is, yes, Omen is distracting the enemies. But I can never dash in the middle of the open and try to kill the enemies. Here, what was the right play? If my teammates are already pressuring the enemies from B main. Here. Two of my teammates are moving through the lower ground. Just do this. Now, enemies need to worry about the Omen, about you from the upper ground, and also about 2 of your teammates that are going from left side. I mean, the whole point of playing Jett is like abusing elevated positions and verticality as much as you can to fuck up the enemy's crosshair placement and to make your job of killing the enemies easier, and the job of your teammates as well. Especially in this elo where people are bad in terms of their mechanical skill, and they're bad, like, in terms of flicking, tracking, you know, reaction time.
Oh my, that was nice.
Okay, we don't know about the enemy Omen.
He's there, he's there.
And enemy Omen is AFK. Interesting match. This VOD review is kind of like, you know, bad to submit, because the match is just completely fucked up. But I think that you already have a really good understanding what you can do better. And anyways, even without watching your VOD, I know what type of training I'm going to recommend you. Some VODs you just don't need to review.
Have a finisher on this Phantom.
This play, brother, I really don't know from who did you see this play, but you cannot do it without any information in the mid area of the map. Maybe if, you know, your Sova shoots a dart, like you're playing Icebox, and your Sova does the dart, let's say for the where the fuck is Sova? Like this. Okay. You know, you can try to go for this play. If the dart doesn't scan anyone. There's also a dart up here that he can do, like there's a lineup. Basically, you play here at the start of the barrier, aim up here, the one charge, fully charged, like one bounce fully charged, bop, bop, and then like, you know, that scouts the enemies. Or also you can do one charge and just stick this shit like up there. But I really don't know, you know, who did you see this in the Joel's coaching? Like, I don't know who recommends this type of a solo play. It's way too risky, especially doing this without using the dash ability. Brother, these 2 rounds you were just praying to God that enemies are not here.
I think it's B again.
Nice burp.
Nope,
One A belt.
The only thing you need to stop doing in terms of your communication is pretending to be a wizard. If you don't know something, don't speak. But don't speak. Like, it is 10 times better to be silent and don't say a single word than giving a bad comm or a comm that is not based on some information. Don't speak. Don't be silent. Like, how do you know that the enemies are B? I don't know, you don't know. Nobody knows.
Only one.
Just one?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
shit,
three.
that's all
There's
of
3. JK.
Is it A or B?
And personally, as I said, in this elo, I would like, the only time I would go for the lurks and flanks on defender side is if you notice that your teammates are able to hold their own ground and they can give you enough time so that this lurk and flank actually works. But you already have numbers advantage. Enemies don't have the omen. Why would I go for this play? Just rotate fast. Like what I would do here. Okay, enemies are pushing A side. Baba 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 bop. Baba 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 bop. And I'm just playing with my teammates. Done. From the rafters, supporting my allies, killing the enemies, refragging my allies, and that's it. While you're doing this shit, right now, enemy Raze popping that rocket launcher, and she's like,
give me your fucking pussy, bitch.
You know, and then you're dead. Your teammates are dying. Gecko using the ultimate, like, 3 of your teammates dead, and you had a 5v4 numbers advantage. Come on, man, like, you know. Go for the lurks and flanks if you want to test the enemies when you're playing some eco rounds, halberd rounds. If you see that you have a good timing for the lurk and flank. If you notice that your teammates are able to hold their own ground and delay the enemy's push enough so that your lurk and flank can actually work.
It's A. 40 Gecko.
Just stay put. I'm coming.
Gecko's on site. And then Maze. Nice. That's on site. Backside.
Okay.
Vandal.
What is that reveal? My dude is trying to be prod. But you need to remember that prod got his account boosted from Ascendant to Radiant. The last time when I checked his account. So like, brother, not really a good playstyle. First of all, I don't know, why would you here? Why would you use the dash ability here? If I'm already playing here with the operator, this is a very safe angle. I take a kill, I can reposition. You know. Get out. Second of all, I'm playing 5v4. I don't need to do this. And then glide. First of all, like, if you want to go up there, you need to get up there without gliding. And do this. with the dash ability activated. That's okay. You know, that can maybe work to surprise the enemies and try to get a kill and get the fuck out. But why are you overcomplicating things for no reason? Just one thing. Okay, enemies have a good economy. Okay. I mean, right now, listen. We don't have the information about enemy Sova. We know that Neon is B main. Our teammates are gonna deal with the Neon. But now, we need to check our anal cavity so that we don't get a butt plug in our ass. This is the moment of time where we need to watch the mid. Sova can be literally behind.
Rotate.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
Okay, Sova actually did a drone in the B main. We heard that. Listen, if you're holding the cross of the enemies from B to A, hold a tighter angle. So after a shot, you can easily escape. I'm not gonna play here. I miss my shot and then like, you know? I'm gonna play here. If I miss my shot, okay. I'll do better next time. And now I can rotate. Or, we can just hold this angle. Like this. And take an easy kill. We place a crosshair on the furthest location for the fastest enemy peek from right to left. Small micro corrections, or simply, you know, pressing your left click when the enemies are coming on your crosshair placement. Bam. Most of the times, like in Valorant, how you want to hold the angles. You want to hold like angles as tight as your reaction time allows you. And when you're holding the angles like that, especially with operator, you're always holding the furthest enemy peak. So if enemies are peeking from right to left, we place our crosshair here. If the enemies go for the jiggle peek or jump spot, small micro correction towards the right side. If the enemies land exactly on your crosshair placement, that enemy needs to revive like in World of Warcraft.
They're back spawn right now.
Send him to graveyard.
Wait, who hears them close? Oh, okay.
Neon's on A.
One thing I've noticed is that your micro corrections are kind of shit. We're gonna work on that with some aim training. Like, basically, listen, guys. I would really like to talk about the mechanics and crosshair placement and all of that during these VOD reviews. But it is kind of pointless for me because I have like a training for everything pre-recorded already. Like 100 of these fucking routines and shit. Like, I wasted my voice on that type of shit for the last 4.5 years a lot of the times. When I do these free VOD, you know, live VOD reviews, I'm just trying to see what type of a problems player has so I can give him some kind of a training.
Sova's here. He darted.
Reaction time -1 point and micro corrections -1 point.
One side.
Definitely.
Oh shit, I'm really bad.
Okay. Listen. Even on the map, such as Icebox, Shorty should be your primary secondary weapon. You're still playing Jett. You know, you can easily close the gap with the enemies with a dash ability and smoke. So essentially, like, it is what it is. Or if you're playing operator, buy the sheriff. Buy some secondary weapon. You have 4,150 credits, brother. And what are you saving money to like buy a Lamborghini in like? Am I gonna see Urus soon in the game? Like new skin? Actually, Riot Games. Listen. Collaboration. Valorant X Gucci, Valorant X Prada, Valorant X Lamborghini, Valorant X Ferrari, Stonks. Girls are gonna buy the Prada and Gucci. Boys are gonna buy Lambo and Ferrari. Fuck this primordial Xeno Hunter skins. That's how outdated. Outdated concept, man. You wanna earn money. CCP, China. Hit me up, you know. biz.charlatan at gmail.com. Actually, that's not my email, but okay. Oh, Omen is back. Okay. This match is gonna become normal again. Once again, listen. This off angle here, on the A side, we play in 3 different ways. So, we play either here, we go for a shot and reposition. If you don't see the enemies crossing that angle, you instantly place your crosser with 1x scope here, here, or here. You gamble a bit. If the enemies peek you there and there, you can flick, drop down with the knives. If enemies peek you here, take a kill. But make sure that you're hiding yourself from that angle. So, when you're holding that angle, we're holding it from this position. If enemies don't peek us there, after like 4 or 5 seconds, maybe they crossed like this. You're not gonna see them. And then you immediately reposition yourself on the right side, hide yourself from that angle, hold this or this. Take a kill, or just reposition and that's it. Second way of holding this angle is holding far left. When the enemies are swinging this spot like monkeys. Why is this spot good? Because enemies are clearing that angle. They jump spot it, or they clear it like this. They position their crosshair there. But where is your body? Your body is here. This is where you're standing. And nobody clears this angle this wide. Like most of the players do this, and then this. And your body is standing on the edge. You can go all the way, I think, to the white line. Yeah, like this. Easy kill. Repositioning, activating dash ability, killing the enemies on the rafters. Going to another off angle. And the third way of playing this angle is hiding from the enemies here, and then surprising them with a peek and peeker's advantage and just fucking them up. Because if the enemies didn't see you here, and they didn't scan you with their recon utility, or they don't have any recon utility, these can be easy kills for you. Activating dash ability to fight the enemies from this location is absolutely unnecessary.
Oh, man.
1 minute. Oh, I got her.
Nice kill. Nice repositioning. Love it.
Sova's here.
Listen, if you have time to rotate from the backside of A side to rafters, always do it. Like on the A side, you consistently want to fight. Here, 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 here. You almost never want to end up at the back of the site here. You're gonna be stunned by the enemy's utility. We don't have any off angles that we can abuse to fuck the enemies up. And we cannot successfully support our teammates most of the time. Especially if the enemies smoke us off. But if you're playing on the rafters, you know, we can take a cheesy pick there. This kill, maybe hold this, maybe kill the enemies on the belt. Enemy Omen smokes us here, no problem. Dash ability, bop, enemy out. Avoid playing here, where you're playing right now. Rotate on the rafters always.
Sova and Gekko.
Hello, I'm new here and I saw that you have a guidebook for Omen. Where can I find it? On my Discord server. You need to connect your Discord account with your Twitch account and you get the access. The roll. And this is what I was talking about at our tracker review. Like right now, your job is done. You're 5 versus 3. At the end of the day, We can also let the enemies take the site. Enemies are under the pressure. Enemies need to make a move. And also, one more thing. One very important tip. If you lost the information about a specific area of the map, for even 1 or 2 seconds, behave towards that area of the map like the enemies can be there and will be there. If I started rotating like this, I would instantly pre-assume that enemies can be on top of the 410 generator, on the pipes, or close to the pipes. You never know when the enemy is gonna walk in, walk out, jiggle peek. Like here, you know what I would do is simply bop. Let's go on the rafters, and from the rafters I can clear this spot, maybe clear the enemies here, kill the Sova on the belt. You get the point. But swinging out in the open for no reason, after we lost the information of the pipes area of the map, why? Like also like you know, when we make true numbers advantage, we already talked what is a true numbers advantage. Your job is done on both attackers and defender side. From that moment on, in this elo, your main job is just to stick to the butthole of your most aggressive teammate that has a higher chance of dying, and support that teammate as best as you can. Because this is gonna be the outcome of your rounds. We were 4 versus 3, 5 versus 3, and we lost this round like imbeciles. Another tip I need to give you is like, when you build up the Jett ultimate, use the Jett ultimate as soon as possible as your primary weapon. Basically, you know, I win the round. I have the Vandal, Heavy Shield, and Jett ultimate available. I'm dropping the Vandal to my teammates, using the ultimate, buying the Shorty, Sheriff, or a Stinger. And I'm using the ultimate as my primary weapon in that specific round. You want to build up as many ultimates as possible, because the main purpose of the Jett ultimate is economy saver, additional gun, preserving the economy of our team, and we're using the Jett ultimate for clutches when we can, you know, when we don't have any other better weapon, essentially. But you want to build up the Jett ultimate at least 2 or 3 times during one half. It's just stupid to save the ultimate for this long.
Wait, why are we
Especially here, like, you know, he doesn't have money to buy the operator. Actually, he had the money to buy operator. I would actually stick with the op here.
He's in the 2-ish. Oh my god, I whiffed.
Hard push B.
Wait, we can't let them play. Oh, never mind, I'm dead.
Home suppressor thing.
I know.
There goes the op.
No, raise head up.
And obviously, same as with any other player that I've coached, like and you know, did a VOD review, jump spotting mechanic doesn't exist. Brother, if enemies have the op, you don't know the exact location of the enemies. Jump spot the enemies, get the information, make the enemies miss their shot, and then path forward. Also, why would you fight here alone? Your Cypher has the ultimate. Enemies need to, like, you're consistently in some kind of an advantage over the enemies, and you're forcing the place. Brother, if enemies didn't plan the spike, you have the control of the spike. You're 2 versus 2. Enemies are the ones under pressure. Play with your teammate, see what the enemies are gonna do. Most of the times in this elo, it's much easier for you to win the rounds and win the matches by abusing enemies' mistakes rather than you trying to make some kind of an outplay. Because enemies will always make some kind of a mistake. Not always, but a lot of the times. Like, listen. If I was playing this round instead of you, first of all, when I was pathing into the site, I cannot path with a knife out because I don't know if anyone is on the bomb site. This is smoked. This is smoked. I don't know where the fuck are the enemies. I don't know about the gecko. I don't know about the, you know, we know about Raze and Omen, but we don't know about the gecko. So we need to push here. Aha, gecko is there. Kill the gecko. Enemy Raze. We know she's playing operator behind the yellow box. Jump spot the Raze. She misses the shot. Now we can do a one-way smoke and maybe kill the enemy Omen and then isolate the Raze. Or not do anything. Wait to see what enemies are gonna do. They need to pick up the spike. They're the ones in a disadvantage. Or also we can fake a rotation. Like basically, if we have a smoke here, we can just jump spot the Raze, do a smoke there, spam a few bullets, and now play with our Cypher.
Nice.
I mean,
What? If you say.
You're definitely dying a lot of, I mean, not a lot of times, but at least 3 or 4 times during this half, you died in some kind of a stupid way or in some kind of a stupid fight that you should not even take at that moment of time.
Okay, so.
wait, Omen, can you buy that? Omen! Okay,
Omen's a greedy piece of shit.
Also, if it is the last round of the match, use the ultimate as soon as the round starts because, you know, to cancel the animation of the ultimate, like, you know, if I miss all of my bullets or, you know, multiple enemies are coming at me, I can instantly pull the knives out and I don't need to do this stupid animation.
wait, why wouldn't you? Okay, it's okay. 1 minute.
Help!
Oh, it's okay. His mouse is not.
And also, one thing that I don't understand in this round is like, why did you play so passively on the B site? I mean, like, when you're playing on the B site, the bare minimum that you need to do for your team is jump spotting the enemies here or behind the yellow. Like, you need to get the info for your team, whether or not enemies are there. But with Jett, you know, we can also hold some kind of an angle like this. Try to kill the enemies. Fake the rotation. Enemies are pushing in. We take a kill. Get the fuck out. This off angle here, we can play in 3-4 different ways as well. We can also hold this tight angle here. Maybe take a shot. Pick the enemies here with a dash ability. Like, I don't understand. Why would you ever start on the B tower? And if enemies are splitting into the mid, okay, we have 2 options. We either hide behind the yellow and try to surprise those enemies somehow, or we're fighting for the B main control, or we're fighting the enemies. I mean, we have 3 options essentially. But starting the round on B tower and letting the enemies get all of this control for free, not gonna do it. On a defender side, you definitely lost like 3 rounds for absolutely no reason. Like, I mean, it's your mistake why you kind of lost them. And 2 rounds were just out of your control, obviously. Okay, now we're moving to the attacker side of Icebox. So basically, on the attack of the Icebox, once again, A site is our default site and #1 priority. B site is our secondary priority, and the mid area of the map is our 3rd priority. Most of the time, in majority of the elos and team compositions, the best idea for the first 4 to 6 rounds is to test the enemies on A, then on B, and to use the mid as our last resort, essentially. Basically, usually what I see in these lobbies, especially low immortal lobby, like low elo lobbies, from Iron 1 to Diamond 3, players don't know how the fuck they should defend the A site. So, in the first round, the most logical solution, most of the time, is just a 5-man straight push onto A. because also the post plant on the A side is much easier than on B, and on A side your teammates cannot make that many mistakes, like in terms of angle clearing and pathing. Like you're able to refrag them almost at every single moment of time. And ultimately the best pattern of pushing on Icebox is in the first round pushing A. If you win the first round, 3 rounds in a row we push A, and then in a 4th round we fake A and we go B. Who should fake the A side? Your initiator and one of your sentinels, essentially. That's how we create an unpredictable pattern of pushing, where essentially in that 4th round enemies are going to make some kind of a faster rotation, or maybe they're going to, you know, start lurking and flanking through the B main, and basically we can get an easy pick onto that guy there. If you lose the first round on A, then in the 2nd round we are forced to fight around the B and mid, because every single time you're playing an eco or halbye round, it doesn't really make that much sense to fight on the A side. I mean, you can try, why not? But one very important rule on this map is like, whenever enemies are eco or halbye, fuck the B side, fuck the mid. Just lead your teammates onto the A side. No lurking, no flanking, nothing. Just 5-man push on A, abuse the enemies that have low economy. In the first round with Jett, you can go with a ghost and smoke, or you can go with a sheriff. Your job is essentially to clear the belt, push from the belt here. We can pre-activate the dash ability, proper crosshair placement for all of these angles, one at a time, and moving forward with our team. When you're pushing onto the A site, your main job is to abuse the elevation of the bomb site. So basically you want to move around the belt, pipes, nest, and the main 2 positions where you want to end up, 3 positions, is basically top of the 4th end generator, top of this generator, and top of the bomb site. You don't need to use the dash ability. When your teammates are moving in, we can simply use the ropes, and you need to learn how to move freely on top of this site. Now, if you have the ghost, also we can use one of the smokes to get on top of the 4th end generator and then fight the enemies. And also you can buy a classic pistol with a light shield, smoke, and updraft, and then go from the belt, drop down here, clear all of these angles one at a time, and then move from the pipes. Classic is also absolutely fine, because from this position we pre-activate the dash ability. We don't need to fight the enemies here at all. We can just take the ropes. Maybe you don't even need the updraft. We can do 2 smokes. You know, we can do 1 smoke at top of the 410, clearing this with a classic, and then fighting with the dash ability. Enemies are backside, no problem. Dash on their face, fuck them up, reposition towards your teammates. The main thing that you need to pay attention on here is, will my teammates follow me into the site? Are my teammates pushing in from sector 1 to sector 2, from sector 2 to sector 3? Like, you need to consistently pay attention and fight together with your teammates and be a refraggable ally. And crosshair placement is mega important on Icebox. When you're clearing the angles, you need to be aware of all of these off angles and all of these positions where the enemies can be. The proper crosshair placement will look something like this. Clearing the top, bottom, here, 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 and then this. And then proceeding forward. If enemies are playing on any other angle, then we are flicking towards the enemies and trying to kill them. That's why when you're pushing from the belt and engaging enemies from the belt, you can pre-activate the dash ability. Like, I mean, anyways, on Icebox, you don't really need a dash ability to execute something. Like, there's no really executes with Jett. We're mainly using the dash ability to fight the enemies, to save our life, get the information for us and our team, and that's it. So now let's see what my friend Bababui is gonna do. We're pushing A site.
Play slow.
Whenever you're pushing from the belt, please, like, I mean, I don't know how many times I actually repeat this shit. Like, place your crosshair here. Enemy Omen can instantly teleport from here to there. Enemies can use the zipline to kill you. Like, never push through the belt like this. Like, push with this crosshair placement, pre-aim that spot, and then move forward. And if your teammates want to lurk and flank in the first round, tell them that you will give them $100 after the match if they actually do a 5-man push in the first round and they follow all of the most important rules of the first round. First round should always be a 5-man aggressive push towards one specific objective. crosshair placement all over the place. Love it.
Sorry, we're pushing. Cause I kind of like made noise.
There you go.
Okay. Now we move in. Yes. Ooh, take the ropes. My dude is lagging again. I mean, what can I say about this round? My guy is like, I don't know. I really don't know why you're having these FPS drops. Like, you know, it's really unusual to have the FPS drops from 170 to 5. I've never seen that in my life. Like, something is like, I don't know. Check your CPU, GPU. Check the overheating. Check the thermal paste. Check. There's so many problems can be there. Like, because most of the times you have a normal FPS and then all of a sudden, like, bam.
One more left side. Nice. Yes! This is so good.
Yo, just playing.
Careful. Flank.
In our spawn.
Oh.
Bro,
Yeah.
my game is breaking again.
Interesting what the submit, huh?
UV bait.
Oh, jump. Nice.
Nice.
Good shot. Good shot.
Okay, I don't know what's happening for him. Like, I mean, you know what to do in the first round, but what type of tips I can give you if your PC stops working? Like, I mean, get a better PC. Try to fix the problem first. You know, there's so many guys, so many things you can try to fix this problem. Like, maybe download the exit lag. Exit lag has the auto optimization feature for Valorant. Try it. You have 3 days free trial. I'm not sponsored. I mean, I've just tried it myself. So yeah.
I'm gonna get the Vandal too. It's in my night market.
Now listen, if you win the first round of Icebox, in the second round we're always going on to A set and repeating the same shit. And in the second round, what you should buy is like Heavy Shield Outlaw, or you can go Heavy Shield Bulldog Utility, and that's it. I mean, the best guns on this map for kind of both attackers and defenders side, you know, anti-eco guns and bonus round guns are Bulldog and Outlaw, so easy kills. But not buying anything, that's a bit of a problem. At least we activated the dash ability. Enemies are definitely... I mean, to be honest, that is our smoke. What the fuck, bro? Okay, like... Guys, I completely understand. You're silver, you're gold, like, maybe new to the game. But if you're playing a controller, look at least one VOD or one video. You know, where to place the smokes on the map. What the fuck is this on the minimap? Like, the only smoke that we kinda need for the A-set push is this. Then we have 2 controllers. Okay, we can put 1 smoke here. We can put 1 smoke here. That's it. And Claw can maybe smoke deep as well. What is this, bro? Like, we have a smoke here, smoke here, smoke here, and a smoke here. This is our smoke setup when we're pushing the A side. Like, in ranked solo queue, I don't need you to be IGL. I don't want you to be IGL. It's tiring, not worth it. Like, you don't need to... Most of the times doing complicated strategies is going to give you diminishing returns. But on attacker side, you need to micromanage your teammates' smokes and initiators utility. And on a macro level, just to tell them when to play together and when we are defaulting or splitting, etc, etc. But this is Sudoku push, man.
My smoke above you guys.
Alright, this smoke's a little close. Cover me, screens. Cover me! Cover me!
Listen, man, like, whenever you're pushing A side, always prioritize this routing or prioritize this pathing. And then from this position, we can once again go there, go there, go there. Like, try to never find yourself on the lower ground. Because most of the times you will not be able to refrag your teammates. And your teammates will always feel afraid to move from the upper ground. I'm playing Jett. I want to get up here, where my teammates are moving there and there. And from this position, supporting my teammates. Then, fighting the enemies maybe with the dash ability, together with my allies. Aha, my teammates are fighting the enemies here. Okay. I can pick them with the dash ability, kill them. Or maybe you can pre-activate the dash ability, do this, bop, bop, take a kill.
Above you guys.
When you go through this lower ground, a lot of the angles are isolated for you, and you won't be able to fight with your
This
allies.
one's a little close.
The smokes are a little too close. No, they're bad.
Screens. Cover me! Cover me!
And one huge tip in general in Valorant. Fuck the spike plant. If you didn't finish all of the gunfights, and there is a chance for the enemies to push you. Clear every corner, pressure the enemies back, and then, when it is absolutely safe, plant the spike. The only times when you want to plant the spike as soon as possible is if you're playing eco rounds, because then, you know, we need to win these rounds based on the timer. This is gonna be so hard to win.
Ah!
Yeah. I mean, my guy didn't even buy the weapon. What can I say? Like, you know, if you win the first round, second round is always a full buy round. Don't forget to buy a weapon, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
we're forcing in this round.
Need to buy.
I mean, like, if you lose the second, so you win the first round, and you lose the second round, third round is like half by eco. Like, you know, in this round, I would buy the Vandal utility light shield, and my teammates should be saving for that fourth round. And here, I would actually do the push on A again. Why not? We can still buy some long-range weapons. We can still create this pattern of pushing where we push the same side 3 rounds in a row, and then in a fourth round fake that side. It's not that big of a deal. Still better than pushing B now, because pushing B right now is very predictable. I mean, if I was in the enemy team, I'll be playing B set and now they're gonna follow the rule of fear, maybe. They lost this anti-eco round on A. You know?
No, we should.
Like, what you want to do in Valorant is all of the rules that you follow. You want to avoid or counter those rules on attackers and defenders side.
Save for next round.
Screw that.
We should kind of save for the next round, but I mean, we have money for that. Yeah. But brother, if you're pushing through the main areas of the map, we cannot clear the main areas of the map where enemies can play multiple different elevated and horizontal positions by wide swinging that spot. We have 4 options. Jump spot the enemies, and now peek the enemies with the perfect crosshair placement and dash ability. Put them in the coffin. Second thing, wait for one of your teammates to peek, bait the shit out of that idiot. Your teammates will always fight, you know. Peek behind your allies, defrag your teammates. Like, third option, best option, let's use the utility. Flash, drone, recon, something to clear the enemies. Fourth thing, jiggle peek the angles, go in and out, cut a pie, and clear one angle at a time. But, you know, just swing this. Enemies can be there, on 9 different angles. We first need to get some information for our crosshair placement, and then go for a fight.
Oh, 2.
They're both hit 70.
And as I said, like, pushing B set in this round was a bad idea in general. Like, it was expectable. You know, don't be predictable. Obviously, enemies are gonna stack the B set a bit harder if they punished your anal cavity in the last round on the A side.
Yeah.
How did none of them die? One flank, one flank.
Nice kills. Not bad. I mean, this pathing you know,
None of them die.
this pattern was a bit dangerous because the smoke on the tower disappeared and enemies could have easily killed you.
One flank, one flank.
Yeah, not flank. Oh, that
Flank
is
is still there. Flank's still there. Cover me. One.
I mean, you didn't win this round because you did something good. Just enemies played terribly. But as I said in this elo, like it's so easy to abuse the enemies' mistakes.
Oh. Never mind.
Listen, one more important tip. Generally speaking, in Valorant, if enemies are doing some recon ability, dart, some kind of a flash, like you know, Reyna flash, Gecko flash, you should focus on destroying it. Because your teammates are 90% of times not gonna do that, and they're gonna expect someone else to destroy that.
Nice.
Nice.
Vandal.
I told you.
Listen here. If you already have above 4,000 credits before the round starts, and you have a light shield, buy the heavy shield. It's worth the investment. If you have below, let's say 3,500 credits, don't play with a light shield. In this round, playing with a heavy shield is very important because enemies are once again eco and hull buy. Do you really want to die from the sheriff one tap on 30 plus meters? Do you really want to die from body shot outlaw if one enemy forces the outlaw? Do you really want to die from one shot of the shorty and, you know, like, buy the heavy shield. And in this round, obviously pushing the A side, the best idea ever. But I guess we're gonna push B, huh?
Wait, Clove. Oh no, Clove! Broke! Oh my god, Clove. Nice.
I will still buy the heavy shield in this round. Regardless of the economy. Because 3 enemies are like playing a low buy, maybe with the stupid sheriffs. And I really don't want to die from one stupid bullet or 2 headshots of the classic pistol, like on 50 plus meters. I really like how half of the Valorant community hates the jump spotting mechanic. Brother, like one of the main, like, you need to get the information first for your crosshair placement if you want to peek something. If you want to push somewhere, like you cannot just, especially if you're not playing on contact. If you're just stomping that area of the map. If I already don't have a Sova drone or something like some reveal, I mean, you know, I cannot just swing out into 1 million angles. Here as well.
Flank, flank, flank.
Now, listen, when you're pushing through the B main area of the map, always, but always check this corner, this corner, this corner, this position, this position, this position, before you turn your focus onto the yellow end site.
How the fuck is that guy flanking so
Other-
fast?
It was a late flank.
Check, 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 check. Okay,
I'm ulting.
we didn't check it, but...
Both are marked, let's go.
One enemy remaining.
Oh wait, not both. Never mind.
Okay. Okay. I mean, in the next round, like, as soon as you notice on a defender's, on the attacker side, that enemies are very repetitive with their, like, you know, how they play on defense, you want to punish that immediately. I mean, there is no way that this Omen is not gonna be aggressive again. Whenever you notice that someone is this aggressive for like 2-3 rounds in a row, call for a default, punish that idiot, kill him, and then regroup and do something together. What I would heavily recommend you in this elo is like, you know, if your teammates are already clearing the angles, like this, I run in front of them, jump spot the enemies, clear this angle, jump spot again, and then move forward. Because your teammates will be losing enormous amount of time, their life, from these off angles and because of the improper angle clearing. Look at Omen. Omen is your playmaker right now. You should be playing with Omen. Omen is gonna die. Like I told you already, like on the attacker side, your highest priority is your most aggressive teammate that is doing something useful for the team.
Wait, Raises, getting close.
Right now, Omen dead.
Shit. Maybe we should back up. That smoke's a little weird. Oh no, not yours. Sorry.
And this is why I told you that in this round, playing default would have been nice. Gecko pushing, Omen is also probably pushing mid right now. Like, as soon as you notice that enemies on defense are this aggressive, just play default, wait to see what they're gonna do, and then make a decision.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, 4.
Ultimate. Let's use it. Listen, also like, you really need to like, use the ultimate more often. I assume that you're not that comfortable on the ultimate right now, but ultimate is an amazing economy saver. It's like you have the operator and a vandal and a shotgun in the same time. Like you need to master it and actually use it more often. Like in this round, our economy is still not good. You know, we still struggle with team economy. Like we lost the previous round. Like let's save some of that economy by using the ultimate as our primary weapon. Heavy shield. Maybe buying a shotty for shorty as a secondary weapon if we miss all of the daggers, and that's it. Anyways, one of your teammates will die. You'll pick up the guns from them. You'll kill one enemy, take a gun, you know. We need to build more ultimates in a match. And listen here. Whenever enemies give you this smoke right here, especially if that smoke is mega fast, 80% of times, one enemy is playing there. Like, you need to be careful that enemy Omen can be here and in the smoke. And tread very, very carefully. Like, tell your teammates, that is the ghost comm that you can maybe give to your teammates. Hey, enemy Omen is maybe in the smoke. And then they're gonna clear the smoke a bit more carefully. Like, sometimes lying to your allies is actually good. If that is actually gonna save their life and make them think more. But, you know, on a defender side, telling that all 5 enemies are pushing B side when we have no information about that, like, that's kind of fucked up.
Nothing close.
He's on
Okay.
top.
This is what we call a rushed out execute. Like, there should never be a moment of time where you, as a Jett player, in a full buy round, you are here, and your teammates are not here. So basically, on the A set of Icebox, we have sector, numero 1. This is the sector number 1. Sorry, that's not the sector number 1, I lied. Like, this is the sector number 1. Sector number 2, sector number 3. Depending where your teammates are at that moment of time, depends where you should be. Like, your job is to take the space, but not, you know, not to take space alone. You still want to path together with your teammates. Most of the times, that's an impossible task. So, I want to move on top of the 410 generator as my teammates are crossing this area of the map. Then, I want to move on top of this generator and here as my teammates are taking the full control of the sector number 2. And if my teammates are taking the fights here, that's the moment of time where I want to move at the backside and surprise the enemies. But I cannot end up here, and my most aggressive teammate behind me is actually here. No one is able to refrag you. Like, if your teammates are here, you need to be on top of the 410, use this cover, to fight the enemies. You know, crouch down and fight the enemies here. Check the screens. And then, as your teammates are moving forward, we can use these angles to basically move forward as well and help our teammates. Also, I think he missed the dash ability here. Like, I don't really think that he wanted to end up in this area of the map.
Yes.
Icebox is a really simple map, like, on the attacker side, like, you know, everything is about proper angle clearing, proper refrag potential, and proper crosshair placement, like, and abusing the proper weapons for proper rounds. Like, you know, it's not really about... And pathings are really important. But executes don't really exist that much, like, you know... We need to have some recon utility, good smokes, and as a Jett, like, most of the times you can use your dash ability to fight the enemies and not really to take the space. Oh, sorry, that's my Discord. As I said, man, like, avoid the mid area of the map if you don't need it. Like, if your 5-man pushes on A set and B set are already working, that is the most simplest and the easiest gameplay that you can abuse to win a match. Touching mid area of the map on any map is always a bit risky because you never know if your teammates are going to pay attention on the lurks and flanks. Are they going to clear all of these angles on mid right now? It's just stupid. That's why in the first 4 to 6 rounds, we primarily want to test the team playstyle, you know, default executes and shit like that. If the enemies don't have the response to your default executes, you're just fucked. The match is over. And we want to use the mid area of the map of Icebox when our 5-man pushes are not working, to flank, lurk, split the map, apply some pressure, etc, etc. Here, you know.
You see Raze.
Okay, that's an op for free. That was a bit lucky. Good that we switched for the Phantom. Okay, okay. I mean, this execute that he did was like fine, you know, like he had the ultimate, like, sure, why not, like. Okay. This is this is what I said, like, a few rounds ago. Like, as soon as you notice that enemies are this impatient and they're just pushing you on defense, like, default, hold them, kill them, that's it. Like, you know, defaulting is always bad if you're doing it as a blind strategy. You know, you're just defaulting for no reason. But defaulting as a counter strategy or to slow down the pace of the game is really good. Obviously, whenever enemies are so repetitive with their positioning, pushing patterns, like, default, play in the area of the map where you think enemies are going to be repetitive, kill those enemies, and then regroup together and hit something together. Here also the enemies from A are probably pushing us at this moment of time. But the spike is in the spawn.
Oh, wait, that might be open. Side might be open.
Yeah, it is.
This is a waste of... did he pre-activate? Okay, that's okay. I want to say that this is a waste of the dash ability if you're dashing up there to take the space in B-man, but I mean, like, he already activated the dash ability, so why not? But still, unnecessary risk.
Oh, wait, that might be open. Side might be open.
Yeah, it is.
May I ask, how do you know that the site is open? Because most of the times enemies play the 3 people on B in a lot of the rounds. You know, the worst thing you can do in Valorant is pre-assume the things. When you don't need to make pre-assumptions. Okay, we have 5v3 numbers advantage. Let's clear the angles one at a time. if one enemy is maybe sneaky beaky or he baited the shit out of his team, let's check all of these corners in the B main that I've showcased you earlier on, and then let's plant the spike like a normal human beings.
Yeah, let's go. Clove, wait, bomb.
Okay. This Gecko is probably flanking. I mean, the guy already did that. Like, Gecko was usually A player, and in some of the rounds he pushed ace. I don't know, like, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's 5v1. Like, we're gonna win this.
Nice.
Okay. A bit, you know, scuffed VOD review. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not really the best VOD review ever. Overall, you know, as I said at the start of this VOD review, I didn't even need to see this VOD in order to recommend you some kind of a training and some kind of an aim training routine as well. I already have the solutions for you, and through the private Discord messages, I'm gonna share with you all of the videos that are important for you and the training that I want you to do for the next, like, 2, 3, 4 months, maybe 4 months to be honest. You have definitely a problems with better team play. You know, like, basically respecting that refrag potential a bit more. Your position can be much better on both attackers and defender side in terms of your pathing, how you clear the areas of the maps, and you're trying to do some, I don't know, some plays that don't really make sense. You know, you're not prod. Prod is bad. Anyways, why would you watch him? Also, when it comes to reading the enemies, you definitely need to put more focus on that. But in this elo, it is much more important to actually read your teammates, you know, like to compensate their mistakes and follow up their stupid plays. But also, reading the enemies is obviously very important. And all of these topics will be covered in the coaching videos that I'm gonna share with you. Crosshair placement, not that good, you know, shit, as you said, like, we're gonna work on that as well. And when it comes to mechanical skill, one of the main problems is, like, reaction time and micro corrections. We have the aim training routine for that. You're gonna get it through the private messages. Overall, I really think that you should stick to Jett, Raze, and Omen. And I think that if you apply everything that we've discussed today and everything that you're gonna see in the additional coaching videos, Diamond 1 is guaranteed. Minimum. Basically. You know, Diamond 1 to Diamond 3. In the next, like, 2 to 4 months. And then, I think the real struggle for you is gonna be, like, going from, you know, a low elo player to a medium elo player. You know, approaching these ascendant and low immortal lobbies. And obviously, one of your, you know, biggest enemies right now is, like, lack of playtime. You know, if you invest more time as well, like, even if I didn't do this VOD review, like, I think you could easily do, you know, get Platinum 1 minimum. But usually, like, what I say to the players, like, the sooner you get help from someone, it's better for you, so that you're not developing some mega hardcore bad fucking habits that you will need to fix for, like, 6 months, 1 year. Like, so some bad habits require, like, over a year to be fixed sometimes. So we're gonna set you on the right path with the training, with everything. You have nothing to worry about. Other than that, thank you for watching this VOD review. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, join my Discord server for coaching to get the rank playbook as well. Like, I'm filling it with Jett, Omen, Raze, Yoru, and Chamber guides for now. They're all gonna be completed really soon. And yeah, tune into live streams. Thank you for watching, and see ya in the next one.